Exodus 31. The Lord spoke to Moses, "See, I have chosen Bezalel, son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, and I have filled him with the Spirit of God in skill, in understanding, in knowledge, and in all kinds of craftsmanship, to make artistic designs for work with gold and silver, and with bronze, and with cutting, setting stones, and cutting wood, to work in all kinds of craftsmanship. Moreover, I have also given him Oholiab, son of Ahisamach, of the tribe of Dan, and I have given ability to all the special skilled, that they may make everything I have commanded you: the tent of meeting, the ark of testimony, the atonement lid that is on it, all the furnishings of the tent, the table with its utensils, the pure lampstand with all its utensils, the altar of incense, the altar for the burnt offerings with all its utensils, the large basin with its base, the woven garments, the holy garments for Aaron the priest, and the garments for his sons to minister as priests, the anointing oil and the sweet incense for the holy place. They will make all these things just as I have commanded you." The Lord said to Moses, "Tell the Israelites, surely you must keep my Sabbaths, for it is a sign between me and you throughout your generations, that you may know that I am the Lord who sanctifies you. So you must keep the Sabbath, for it is holy to you. Everyone who defiles it must surely be put to death. Indeed, if anyone does any work on it, then that person will be cut off from among his people. 6 days you must work, or your work may be done, but on the seventh day is a Sabbath of complete rest, holy to the Lord. Anyone who does work on the Sabbath day must surely be put to death. The Israelites must keep the Sabbath by observing the Sabbath throughout their generations as a perpetual covenant. It is a sign between me and the Israelites forever. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, and the seventh day he rested and was refreshed. He gave Moses 2 tablets of testimony when he had finished speaking with him on Mount Sinai, tablets of stone written by the finger of God. All right, so now we're going to God has been giving Moses all of these instructions. We have come to the end of the list of instructions of what to build, how to build it, all of those things. And he's now telling him, here is who is going to do the work. "See, I have chosen Bezalel, son of Uri, the son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, and I have filled him with the Spirit of God in skill, in understanding, in knowledge, and in all kinds of craftsmanship, to make artistic designs for the work with gold, silver, and bronze, with the cutting and setting stones, with cutting wood, to make work in all kinds of craftsmanship." So what do we see here on the chosen? I have called by name. This expression means that the person was specifically chosen. So here is who I have called by name, Bezalel, and I tell you who he is. Well, let's go see what Bezalel means. So Exodus 31, Bezalel. Okay, so his name means in the shadow of God, and if you're in the shadow, you are under the protection of. So Bezalel is in the protection of God, under the shadow of God. And he has been given the Spirit of God. The expression in the Bible means that the individual was given special supernatural enablement to do what God wanted done. It usually is said of someone with exceptional power or ability. The image of filling usually means under the control of the Spirit, so the Spirit is the dominant force in his life. So we have, he is set apart. Now, you have slaves coming out of Egypt. Slaves would have been doing work in Egypt. So in some ways, perhaps Bezalel or Uri or Hur would have been doing some of or all of these works that he has. But God has multiplied abundantly, and he has given him understanding and knowledge. So this is understanding and knowledge and skill. So skill, understanding, knowledge in all kinds of craftsmanship. In other words, artistic design, gold, silver, bronze, He can do cutting with he can do stonework, he can do woodwork, he has all kinds of craftsmanship. So Bezalel has all of that. I have also given Oholiab, son of Ahisamach of the tribe of Dan. Interesting, the tribe of Dan is being called to do work here. Dan is not always doing things that are great. So it's nice to see Dan getting a little bit of special attention there. The ability, all specially skilled, and they may make everything that I commanded you. So Bezalel is the chief in charge, and his assistant is going to be Oholiab. So let's see what Oholiab means. And you can see the difference in spelling here with an A instead of an O, some ways of transliterating it. Okay, so Oholiab is father's tent. So father's tent is being commissioned to do the work of making God's tent, his tabernacle. So father's tent is literally making father's tent, and father's tent is helping in making all of the items for father's tent. And the shadow, being in the shadow of God, under the shadow protection of God, is also helping to make the dwelling place for God to be, so that his shadow can be upon his people, so that he can protect his people. Like their names, I just like the names, and finding out the name meanings and connections there I just find those so much fun. Super cool. Let's get words in here. There we go. Add those up. Okay. So they're going to do everything I commanded you. So Moses, you're not doing this. You're overseeing it. Here's the chief guy, the chief people in charge of doing the work. Okay, the tent of meeting, the ark of the testimony, the lid of the atonement, and on it and all its furnishings of the tent, the table of the instruments, the pure lampstand. So we're getting just a summary of these: the utensils, the altar, the burnt offering and all its utensils, the large basin with its base, the woven garments, the holy garments for Aaron and the priest, the garments for his son to minister as the priest, the anointing oil, the sweet incense of the place. They will make all these things just as I have commanded you. So the entirety of all the things, these two are the ones who are going to do all the work. They're going to oversee all of the work. Tell the Israelites, surely you must keep my Sabbaths. Okay, we just had the setting apart everything as holy so that God can dwell among them. So this is not a change in topic. The Sabbath is set apart different from the rest. So setting apart is the means of making it holy. So remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. Set it apart. Make it different from the other 6 days of the week. The tabernacle is a different place. The incense there is different incense. The anointing oil is different. You can't use it anywhere else. It is set apart. So Sabbaths are set apart. It is a sign between me and you throughout your generations, that you may know that I am the Lord who sanctifies you. So God is the one who sanctifies them. He is the one who sets them apart. Now they, in turn, set apart the Sabbath day. You must keep the Sabbath, for it is holy to you. It is set apart for you. It is for your benefit. Everyone who defiles it must be put to death. For indeed, if anyone does work on it, that person is to be cut off from among the people. So here we have an equating of putting to death and being cut off are equal with each other. So to cut someone off from the community is a way of putting them to death. It doesn't tell us how they're to be put to death. They are cut off. They are not among the people. They are not followers of mine if they do not do this. 6 days you may do work, but the seventh day is Sabbath of complete rest. So desisting, not doing anything. Okay. They had the pillar by night and the cloud by day, and God gave them manna food, right? For 40 years. Yes, absolutely. Oholiab. Yes, the pillar is guiding them. The cloud, right now they are on Mount Sinai, and they have bread that's coming down from heaven. Yeah, we described it, when we went through that passage. It does describe it. It's like sweet. It's like coriander. It's like little flakes that they grind up and they use to make, flour out of, or, so that you could like make a cream of wheat out of it. They make something like that, or they make different cakes out of it. So yeah, it does describe in the passage when it comes down what that is, which is different than what we're talking about here. Here we're talking about when they make the tabernacle and the things for the tabernacle, how they're to do things. Now they're eating manna. That's an interesting thing that you bring up manna. While they're wandering in the desert, how are they to make unleavened bread? Are they to use manna for the unleavened bread? Not certain. I'll be paying attention for that to see what happens with that. Okay, so 6 days you can work. The Sabbath is complete rest, holy to the Lord. Anyone who is going to be doing work must be put to death. The Israelites must keep the Sabbath by observing the Sabbath throughout the generations as perpetual covenant. It is a sign between me and the Israelites forever. Sabbath is the sign. Sabbath is a sign of God's presence, God's provision. Why? Because while you were in the desert, he provided food for you. And on the seventh day, you didn't have to labor. You are not slaves. You did not have to labor. God has provided for you. It is the sign between me and you. For 6 days, the Lord made the heavens and the earth, and the seven, he rested and was refreshed. So it is God did not work. Now, so you aren't either. So it is a reminder of the establishment of how God created things. The word rest essentially means to cease, stop. So describing God as resting on the seventh does not indicate that he was tired. He simply finished creation and then ceased or stopped. Yeah, but there's also when a king sits on the throne, he enters into his rest because he is fully established as king. So when the king is putting down uprisings, when he comes to power, establishing his kingdom, pronouncing all of those things, doing all of the work of coronation and all of those things, once he is established his kingdom, he sits on the throne and he enters into his rest because his kingdom is there, and to enter into the rest of the king is to be under the kingship of him. So there is a connection here of Sabbath, that is God on the seventh day entered the throne of ruling creation, which he had created. So he did the work of establishing the kingdom. Now he is ruling the kingdom, is another way of seeing that, not simply rest into not work. He is working and is working until now, overseeing the kingdom. Okay. So I'm not going to go further down that footnote. Okay. He gave Moses 2 tablets of testimony that he had when he had finished speaking with him on Mount Sinai, tablets of stone written by the finger of God. The expression the finger of God has come up before in the book, in the plagues. It expressed that it was demonstration of the power and authority of God. So here too, the commandments given to Moses on stone tablets came from God. It too is a bold anthropomorphism to attribute such a material action to Yahweh would have been thought-provoking to say the least, but by using God and by stating it in an obviously figurative way, balance is maintained. So no one writes with one finger. The expression simply says the law came directly from God. Written by the finger of God, I think, establishes the power of God to give it as the writer of it, of putting it into actions. Now, what a lot of people probably think, and we see on most images, is that the 2 tablets means 5 are written on one and 5 are written on the other. When we have historical evidence of things, you would have 2 copies of something. So the 2 tablets of testimony would be 2 copies, is another way of seeing this. So possibly there are 2 copies of it, which might be front and back. So you would have these written on the front and on the back, or just on the front of one, and then a duplicate copy of the other, so that both parties would have a copy of it. So one copy would be placed in the tabernacle, so in the ark, so that God would have his copy there with the or the what do they call it? Anyway, the Ark of the Testimony. That's it. Because that is going to be where the words of it are, and that is the footstool of God. So it is the footstool of his throne. So it's right there for him to have. And then the people would have the other copy who the agreement is with. So that's how you could see this as being done. We'll see if that's how it's done. But we often just have the image of 5 on one, 5 on the other, and they get broken. And so, 5, we could have had more. If we had 15, we'd need a 3rd tablet. No, we wouldn't. If the tablet was big enough, you would just have all of them on one tablet, is another way to see it. All right.